Pilot action number 5 focused on the research of inequalities in the urban agriculture and community gardens. Specifically, we focused on how engagement of vulnerable and marginalized communities supports the elimination of intersectional inequalities. In other words, how participation in urban agriculture and community gardens helps these people to live a better life. And within this project, we focused on two things: the inequality research and community mapping that generated us some interesting data and that we are currently working with to scale it up on the national level. And the second one is the technical update of the platform Mapko.cz, which is basically a centralized and a very unique hub in the Czech Republic that unites all actors of urban agriculture, where the Mapko brings them all together and helps to facilitate the interactions between the users, exchange of knowledge, information, goods, and perhaps capital. What are the benefits? Fresh goods and sense of community are always obviously important, but on a very personal level, how one Japanese philosopher said, if you want to be happy for a day, get drunk. If you want to be happy for a week, get married. If you want to be happy forever, become a gardener. They they're present in pretty much every community garden that you can find. Either it's a foreigner coming, let's say, from Western Europe, or it's a foreigner coming from the East, Middle East, or anywhere, speaks or doesn't speak Czech. If it's a single mother, if it's a low-income household, if it's a refugee, if it's a Roma community member, if it's an LGBTQIA+ community person, anybody. What is actually important is that this is not a topic that defines whether you're gonna participate or not. It is one of the cost-effective ways how to mitigate climate change on the very communal level with the high participatory degree of involvement of the individuals on the ground. If you look at the pyramid of engagement, these grassroots initiatives are the most strong actors of change on the local level, because for one simple reason, they have this community knowledge. And other than that, community gardens generally improve our steel and concrete infrastructure in cities, and not only reduce the temperature in the area where they are, they help to bring people in together, to break that municipal anonymity, to start really talking to one another, exchange opinions, explore, spend meaningful time, improve well-being. Being in nature, it is proven that being in nature improves your well-being. When we talk about Green Deal, we always imagine something that is happening in Brussels and something that is happening on the European level. But what about the lowest engagement level? What about the individuals? And community gardens represent a great and cost-effective way of providing green-blue infrastructure for the cities in an inclusive way that is centered around the communities. And obviously when people get together and establish this, that is grassroots support of the implementation of the Green Deal. And this is the beauty of how urban agriculture units, community gardens, offer the cost-effective and sustainable way of improving climate inside the cities on the local level, and obviously multiplied on the national-wide level or European level. That is that grassroots contribution to the fairer Green Deal in Europe. As we know, community gardens is a very grassroots initiative. They do not require to be effectively set up from a top-bottom approach. And perhaps what the politicians and decision makers on the national level, even municipal level, and obviously the European level should realize is that they do not need to invent a bicycle or to carry something what is round and push something that is square. They need to realize that they need to provide the tools to the people themselves. People are very easily mobilizable, and the human resource and potential is enormous. What people need is the continuous institutional support, the green light, to get engaged in these initiatives and know that if they start engaging today, in 2 years nobody will come and take over the plot and just destroy the communal ecosystem that was built by the people for the prosperity of the community. And this is what decision makers need to understand. Nobody needs any policy recommendation on this. People need resources and free hands, and people need to know that if they engage in this, nobody's gonna come and create additional obstacles. There are already a lot of obstacles when it comes to sustainability or urban agriculture. So then the question, if we want to do something good, why we try to make it so complicated?